Kane, it's 1-0. We're freaking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be. Oh, when have we got Leeds? Hello people, welcome back to the Just Joe football show, and of course welcome Mr. Ben Lockie himself, Mr. Lockie Leeds, who has been busy doing uni stuff and has now got some free time until his next assignment. So I thought, you know what, let's do a match day chat and bring him back. His title, or his channel, is in the title to this video. So all you need to do is just click it and go on through. I'm getting a little bit excited, Lockie, because it's Friday and it's game day for Leeds United. Nervous but excited. How are you feeling, mate? How have you been?
Yeah,
Catch us up.
Same, Joe. Whenever it comes to game day, my mind changes, doesn't it? You go from nerves to questioning, and it comes game day, and you go, "Now, you know what? We'll go this." Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Like I said, just finished a 106-word dossier.
Nice.
106 word, 106 page.
I was going to say 106 words is not a big assignment, bro, to be honest.
Every word is important. Yeah. So I've just been finished recently. So yeah, but I'm back for a little bit. Hopefully the assignments won't be that heavy from now on.
Good. This is
good.
good.
I'm good.
Good. This is good news for me and good news for the people that watch as well.
I'm just really dark, Leslie mentioned.
Yeah, I don't know why. We was just chatting it. Yeah, Laura D says she's just come from Lockie's video. There you go.
Sweet. Cheers, Laura.
Damar says, not seen the Lockmeister in ages. I know, mate. I was just telling him off air that I was starting to think he'd ditch me. He was just always busy. He was sacking us off. We're going to see him on other channels and stuff.
Not even on my own, mate.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Listen, let's have a catch up, mate, because obviously since it's been an age, but how are you finding Leeds United at the minute? Because obviously we get beat by Chelsea. I think I might have spoke to you after that. But some decent performances, and then we play Huddersfield and it's 1-1. It's not a great performance, and you know you've got fans saying it's a blip, etc. And then we answered them fans with a 1-0. Scruffy win, you could say, against Stoke. How have you found the last three, mate, that form in that time?
So the Chelsea game, I was out, but I had it on my phone. I was a few minutes behind, so it kept getting ruined by people around me. But I honestly, I was proud. I really was. Yeah. Look, I know this talk about Chelsea not great, but we're talking about Premier League level here. We're talking about players who are top performers. Let's be realistic. They're not performing well now, but they are. They're there. They're at Chelsea because of that reason. And our style, which I think is going under the radar, people talk about individual players. For our style worked well against the Premier League side. I thought we chose when to be pragmatic and we chose when to sit deeper. We were dangerous in every attack. That's one thing I saw. I really enjoyed it. I loved watching that game. I thought, even though we lost, in a way, we proved that we are capable. You know, in one-off games against top sides. And that's important. And I guarantee the players will not have been hard by that. They'd have been annoyed that we could have won it, but the positivity in that change room would have been huge. They'd have all been talking to each other. They'd have said, look, we took them to the final minute. And that's something to be proud of. And that breeds players and that breeds young lads who now got that experience and that drive to get to that level. And then we go into Huddersfield, and I was always nervous for that game for many reasons. But I was in our group chat, Joe. I had a feeling. It's just,
you did.
They were preparing a lot for that game. I'll tell you that. So that one was always going to be tough. There was a lot of incentive for them to get something from that. The rivalry, the new manager's first game, you know, the relegation fight. You know, there was a lot of incentive there for them to win that. So to get a point, fine. Honestly, I hate that. I'm just glad that game was done. I'm glad that was over. That was the worst game left for me, if I'm being brutally honest. That one was the worst, and I'm glad that's done. So, we move on to Stoke. The reaction from the Stoke game for me, from the players, said a lot. I think the mentality of these players is now they understand every single game has to be a win. Yeah. I know you can talk about performance, and I'm huge on performance, so as I've been. You have to play well to win games usually, right? But right now, you're at the point in the season where the mentality of them players is just win it. I don't care what that means. If you have to defend for 70 minutes, defend. And we did that. Stoke had a bit of the ball, but did they really? They had a few shots from the edge of the box, which are probably their biggest chances.
Mm.
I think we were all right with that.
Set pieces, isn't it, man? That seems to be
Yeah.
the thing at the minute.
Well, when you play against these sides who respectfully don't have the talent we have, the best way to get to a team like us is set pieces. It's the same for you look at the top teams in the Premier League, you know, Man City, Liverpool. You know, it's set pieces. It's a 50-50 in a set piece, right? You know, there's no
exactly.
If you're taller than him, you've got more chance of winning that ball. So, yeah, that's something we have to be aware of. We'll see that a lot. And we've just got to stop being naive. I think we've been a little naive. The young players have been a little naive, and that's normal because they're young players. And we'll talk about selection of the squad in a bit.
100%.
That's been experience for me. But yeah, overall, mate, to answer your question, I've been happy. This season has been unbelievable. The points we're on, the wins we're getting. I genuinely won't get this good in terms of results for a long time. If we got the Premier League, we're not going to win like this every week.
No, we're not, mate, for sure. Yeah, enjoy it while you can, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Steele says, afternoon, lads, perfect timing. That's why I positioned it around 1 o'clock. I remember a lot of people when I used to do the lunchtime leads during the transfer window, 1 o'clock was the opportune moment for most. We will chat about this, Damar. I am going to get Lockie's opinion on the Bamford-Joseph chat that we had the other day. I did try to get him on that video, but he was, as I say, busy doing his dossier. Yeah, before we do, though, Damar, I did see it, bro. I did see it, and I seen a news story about it. It's like, come on, man. Like, these stories are absolute codswallop. Bryce Isaiah-Samuel has been linked to Leeds United for about 10 seasons now, I think, on the spin. Is he still in Turkey? That's probably what it is. He's still in Turkey, something like that. I think he might be at Fenerbahce. We get linked all the time, but listen, there's a lot of players, agents that cling on to Leeds United. We've seen fucking that clown at Spurs who's now at Genoa speaking and, somehow trying to spin it round and say it was all untrue and all that, but less said about him, the better for me. I don't even know why people are giving it airtime. He doesn't deserve it, but it is what it is. But let's talk about that video that I did with Luke and Carl and Jer. I don't know if you watched it, bro, but what do you make to the Bamford versus? I hate saying versus. I mean, that's for the title and all that, but what do you make between the two? And I mean, just to set my stall out, you'll know it. It's like, I'm just quite surprised at how much of the fan base want to bin Bamford off and get him in straight away. I just think it's a little bit too soon. But what do you make to that, mate?
So I'll set a basis. So put it this way, right? If I look at the lineup tonight and I see Bamford-Joseph starting up top, I'll be excited. I'll be happy. I'd be like, oh, opportunity. That means he's proven to the manager who. This is what comes down to me. I trust the manager's process. I trust what he believes because we're winning games, right? So if I see Bamford-Joseph in the side tonight, I won't be like, oh, it should be Bamford. I'll be like, okay, now he's got a chance to prove and keep that spot. If I see Patrick Bamford in the side, I'll be like, right, good. Experience, a player that's scoring goals. He's scoring goals. That was the biggest criticism with Bamford. You know, it was. He's got all this other stuff, but he doesn't score goals. Now he's scoring goals. Suddenly he's not got all this other stuff all of a sudden. Like, it has to be context. So in that way, I wouldn't be disappointed with either. If one starts, that's their opportunity to narrow whoever it is, to nail down that spot and say, look, I'm the starting striker for this side. And that's good competition. Yep. And that's what I like. And I think we're seeing the best of Bamford because he's got that competition. And Bamford-Joseph is doing everything he can to keep Bamford on his toes. And I don't believe in this stuff that if Bamford will get the spot because of his age and stuff. I think the only side of that is true is the experience part of it. My problem with the Huddersfield game and even the Stoke game to an extent was when it becomes a battle. I think our players are quite nice. I think they're quite nice bunch of lads.
They are very nice.
And for all Bamford's stick, everyone hates him that isn't at Leeds because of the little antics he does. You know, the same antics that Click used to do, the same antics that Calvin Phillips used to do. You need them players in your side, and we lacked them against Huddersfield until we brought on the likes of Connor Roberts and Dan James, who have that. You know, as soon as Dan James, was it that game? I can't remember where Dan James came on and kicked the ball. It might have been the one before.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, kicked the ball at him. I think that was the one before. But little stuff like that riles them up. And as soon as Roberts came on and Dan James came on, you saw a more gritty team, a team that was in the battle. I think our flair players are too nice, and I think that might be the case with Mateo, as opposed to Bamford. He's a young lad, and for me, it's about game state.
Yeah,
Play Mateo
100%.
Joseph in a game where you know he'll impact it, not where maybe
Mm.
he can.
Yeah.
The game he came on the other day against Stoke, that was a good game. The game was stretched. They weren't that physical in defence, really. They weren't really, was it Stoke he came on? Was that last
Yeah,
game?
he did, mate. Yeah, and he played
So
really well. Yeah,
nearly scored, didn't he? Yeah, it was Stoke. My brain, honestly. So
Mm.
that's the right game state because the game was there for him. I think it was stretched. There was room on the back line. The game against Huddersfield, for me, I genuinely don't think he'd have done anything in that. I think that was a wrong moment to bring a player like that on. That needed experience. So now we're looking at the Sheffield Wednesday game, and you're thinking, what will they be like?
Yeah.
I know it's you've got to look at the Huddersfield comparisons. It is a Yorkshire derby. They're near the bottom of the league. They need points. It's going to be like that to an extent. I don't know whether they've got the players like Huddersfield do. I think they're a bit more technical, some of them. And
yeah. They play.
so,
Go on, mate. No, I was just saying.
So maybe that will give Joe's a chance. But for me, it's about that game state. It's about the situation of the game. Patrick Bamford has the experience, and this is, this, to deal with any type of opponent. Whether he's super effective in the games, that doesn't matter. He knows the experience. He's got the experience, so he knows what the game state is. He knows who he's up against. He knows what the game requires. Mateo Joseph doesn't yet. The game against Chelsea, that wasn't a physical game. That was a Premier League side. They were not coming here to hurt Leeds. We were the underdogs in that situation, and that's what I like Mateo in those games. Yeah. So that's why he played really well in that game. These are different games. Teams are coming here to kick you and stop your flair players playing football. You have to be careful with his development. So if the games start Bamford, right? Realise the game state, understand what's happening in the game. If there's a game where you think, right, you can come on here and make an impact, do it. There's this thing that if you don't play 90 minutes straight away, his development will be halted. That's BS.
It's wild, yeah.
It's meant the guy's learning every day. And you see that from when he does come on, he's getting better and better every game. Even if it's 20 minutes, in that 20 minutes, he's becoming more effective in that 20 minutes. When he used to come on the start of the season, he'd show bits, wouldn't he? He'd tough, he'd run around and stuff. But now we're seeing a footballer that's really learning his game. And I'm sure Mateo Joseph isn't, when he doesn't start, he's not going, oh man. He's saying, right, all I'm going to keep doing is doing what I can when I come on. People talking about is the future. He is. And this is where the future's made right now. If you're playing him every minute, the responsibility of him then is the main striker at Leeds United. That might change. That mentally, you don't know how I'll deal with that. Right now, he's not got that. He's got the underdog. He's the second striker at Leeds United. If you make him the main striker right now, you don't know how that'll affect him.
Yeah.
Leave that to Bamford. He's got that experience. Let Mateo slowly learn. And look, if we go up and he has a really good pre-season and he's banging them in and he's performing really well in training, there's his opportunity. But right now, enjoy them both. I like the challenge from Mateo. I like what he's doing. I want to see more of it. But for me, you go with the experience and bring Mateo on when it suits. Sorry, that's a long answer.
No, it's great, mate. That's what you're here for, mate. That's a great answer, to be fair. Yeah, I agree with everything you've just said. Let's have a look. Scooby says, did it help? Yeah, but what we have to remember, Scooby, is we've got 10 games left, bro. Now, if he plays him tonight, he obviously has enough faith in him, but we've got 10 games left. For me, it's too soon to be expecting him, like Lockie's mentioned, for him to be leading the line in such a big game.
And what I will say on that, Joe,
go on, mate.
Just quickly. Rutter played in the Bundesliga for 3 years before, so he's had first team experience. It's completely different to youth football. Somerville took a year in the Premier League. That was his year. He came on in moments and was effective in the games.
Yeah.
This is his first year now. Mateo Joseph, this is his first year to develop.
Yeah.
Somerville had that last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Archie Gray is an anomaly. He's a ridiculous talent.
Yeah. He's not one of the bottle. He's a special one. Him. Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. Just while I remember as well, it seems to be revealed that the player that Farker was speaking about was Charlie Crew. Right. Joe Donahue did a piece on him. I don't know if Joe Donahue's just guessing, but he's probably found out who that player is. But yeah, potentially could be Charlie Crew. So there you go, one to watch coming through Wales International as well. So one to keep an eye on.
Their captain, I believe, the under-17.
Yeah. He's we've got some good
Very
young
good.
players coming through at the minute, I think. So yeah, it's gonna be a good future. Just on Sheffield Wednesday, they do play with a 5-4-1, obviously, or have done in their most recent games, and they've won 4 on the spin in doing so. Although they don't tend, they don't. I don't think they'll play like Huddersfield when they went to 10 men, for example, depending on the game state, of course. But they will have a go. Danny Rowe does like to play football. In terms of, like, when we're talking about Huddersfield, they haven't got a Jonathan Horger Patterson, for example, those that were just ultimate shithouses. I think, like you mentioned, they're a little bit more technical, although having spoken with Ash yesterday, he mentioned maybe Will Volks will put it about a bit, but outside of that, not too sure. They have, obviously, Iorfa at the back, no Poveda, which is a massive loss for them because he's been phenomenal since he came in. Ugbo as well, who they got in January, and he's been smashing them in. So, you know, how do you feel about Sheffield Wednesday as a prospect? Because I think I heard on the Inside Ellen Road pod, Joe Donoghue said that if you look at the league table from December, they're up there with the top 6 sides in terms of form. It's just obviously they had 2 points after 10 games, which is the worst start to a campaign ever in the Championship. So they had so much ground to make up. But what do you make to them as a prospect, mate, as a team that we're going up against?
Well, what I will say, I've not watched a lot of them because obviously I haven't got access to it, but
yeah,
I really like Danny Rose as manager. I really do. When they got him, obviously he was part of the German setup and all that stuff. He's been around top coaches who are now doing really good things. I like him a lot. I think he's a really good coach. I think he'll go far in football. I really do. So when I saw they got him at the bottom of the Championship, I was like, wow, that's a good side. They'll get out of this. And it took them a while, but now you're seeing the fruits of that labour. You know, 4 wins in a row. It's impressive. Who were they against? I'm not too sure.
Plymouth. They got one against Plymouth. They seem to be falling like a stone.
Yeah, it's not going well there.
Hasn't been great for them. Just let me have a look, mate, and I'll tell you now. I know one was Plymouth. Rotherham was one as well, which you expect them to win. They beat Bristol City 2-1 at Hillsborough. Beat Millwall 2-0 as well. I think they've got one loss in like 8 at home as well. So, like, Hillsborough is a real good place for them, and we notoriously don't do well there either. What do you think our chances are? Do you know what I said in my preview, mate? I was a bit like it wouldn't surprise me if we lost, but I don't know if this is a wild take, and obviously it's different when you're live, so you can tell me. But I don't think a point's that bad away at Hillsborough. It's just, I get it because of the context of the season. We've only got 10 games left and that, but we need to win, don't get me wrong, but just don't lose, for God's sake.
I think we need to win this one, Joe, to be honest. Like, in the context of the season, how tight it is, I said this to Andre earlier, a few days ago in the chat, the next kind of point dropped. You look at Southampton, they don't win their game in hand. You could argue they're out the top 3 race, but then they would be six points off it. If we drop a point, Southampton win their game in hand, or their 2 that they'll have at the time, and Ipswich win, 5 points off the top 2 with 9 to go. If they win, so whoever drops them next points, it's not looking. You've got a really high climb. I think this has got to be a win because of that. Any other season, you kind of be looking at it saying you can kind of afford to drop point away from home, but right now, I just think you've got to win it. I think what I will say, I think it's going to be tough. I think every game's going to be tough. Look, are they? Let's have a look. Yeah, they're just a win could take them
out of
16th.
Realistically,
exactly.
Out of the
so
drop
this is big for them. Whether they'll see this as a defining game, you know, they want to win the teams around them. That's real. You know, you're not only going up the table, but the teams around you are not winning. So that's their focus, I believe, and I hope they don't. They've not done what Huddersfield and spent 3 weeks preparing for this one, then lose to Cardiff. You know, that's exactly. You've got to win them games around you. That's what it's about. You know, when we were down in the Premier League, down in the Premier League, you know, we under Bielsa, whatever, we won them games around us. The teams around us didn't win points. We beat them. We struggled against the top 6 at times, but we beat them teams around us always. And that's what you've got to do. You got to look who's around you. 3 above, 3 below. You've got to win them games. So I'm expecting a tough test. They've won, what was it, 4 in a row? Like
4 in a row,
they're confident. But you've got to look at us as well. We've not lost. We still, apart from in the cup, we've still not lost this year. So we're also in very good form. The performances haven't been brilliant for the
No.
last 2-3 games, but I've not watched Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know if theirs have either. You know, in comparison to us,
Yeah.
we have the superior players, right? We have some of the best team players in the league. This is about those players now turning up for this game. And again, like Huddersfield, like I said, that experience. If a game becomes a scrap, we need the experienced players to deal with it. And that's key because all these games are going to have, whether it's 10, 15, 20 minutes, there's going to be a period where it's just scrappy.
Yeah.
And we're not great in those periods for me. We go a bit in our shell, and that's experience. So, tough game, but I'm looking at our front four to turn up. Because if our front four turn up and there's anyone in this league, we win the game. It's quite simple, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
They need to turn up. If they turn up, we'll win the game.
Yeah.
But we have to be wary.
What do you put? Because there has been a distinct drop off with two of the front four for me, and that's Rutter and Somerville. What do you put it down to, mate? Is it just the amount of games, little niggles, knocks that they've got? Somerville is getting doubled up on by every single team now as well, by the way. Rutter can get himself out of anything, mate, if we're being totally honest, but he hasn't been to his best of late. What do you put it down to? And, you know, I thought it was quite interesting against Stoke that he brought Somerville off and kept James on and put Nonto out on the left, as though to say, look, Somerville, you're not exempt from getting substituted, mate, because normally he stays with him. So I thought that was quite interesting. Daniel reckons on fatigue. They are young lads. This is a first full season for them. Our schedule's been insane. I can't wait, mate, for this game to finish and know that we ain't got a game for 8 days. Because as much as I've been worried about Millwall, I think by Millwall, these lads will be fresh and ready to go again. But yeah, what do you put it down to? Is it fatigue or what, or being worked out?
It's definitely fatigue. I think you look at, everyone's leggy. Everyone in the entire league is leggy. I know people were saying in my comments on the previous video, well, the Ipswich players didn't look leggy. That's because, let's be real, they don't turn up for 60 minutes. They don't. They're usually behind at that point. So at 60th minutes, suddenly they've got more energy than everyone else, but they're losing them games. We're trying to win games the first 60 minutes. So the last 20, we might be a bit leggy. And then there's this whole, adrenaline. If you're 2-0 down and it goes 2-1, suddenly you've got energy. You know, anyone that's played sport knows that. Like, come on, we're back in this. So there's all that context. But I just think, I think they're tired. You look at Rodon, Ampadu, they look all right. Look, like I said, everyone's leggy to an extent, but they look fine. The goals are still not being conceded. You know, the experienced players look all right. It is the young lads that are struggling.
That's a good point.
Even Bamford, he looks less leggy.
James as well, for example. I know James has not played as much of late, but
Somerville hasn't played a full season like this in his entire career.
Yeah.
Last year in the Premier League, he's on the bench for most of it until that little period where he was brilliant. This is unknown territory for all of them. Even Rutter, he was a bit part player. He played for Hoffenheim, obviously, but didn't play every minute or every game. And the schedule isn't anywhere near as much as the Championship. It's tiring. They've got 46 games. They're playing every other day sometime this week. It is tiring. They're probably knackered. And that's where you've got to protect them. That's where you need a squad. So it's definitely fatigue. And then again, I think they are getting booted. And you know when you get booted in a game, as a winger, I get booted all the time. 2 or 3 days later, you're still feeling it if it's a big one. You know, you can't, even medicine can't get rid of that. You can have painkillers, whatever, but you feel it. And that affects training, that affects preparation. So Somerville is playing a little in his head, I think, as well. You look at him 1v1, he's slowing down a lot more. He didn't used to do that. He used to run.
I feel like he needs a goal, Lockie, because he hasn't scored in a bit either.
Been a while on it, I think that's all. That's all he needs. A goal after this game. Get a goal this game. Have an 8-day rest. And we'll see the best of him at Millwall. That's my hope. Same with Rutter. Rutter's obviously, guys, I absolutely love the man. I think he's unbelievable. He's the joy of this season. But what I will say about Rutter, he's the most inefficient player in our team. He gives the ball away more than anyone. Yeah, of course. If you can, and that again, that's youth. Mate,
he had a strike the other day, and it went out for a fecking throw. I thought it took a deflection. Then when I seen the replay, I was like, "Oh my god, it hasn't! He's literally hooked that out of play."
I love him.
It's mad.
But this is it. This is it for them. This season is kind of a training year for their, if we hopefully do, the Premier League, right? these players are young. They're developing all the time. Jorginho Rutter, if he can just define his game and be 5% more effective with the ball, you've got an unbelievable player there. One who has that talent and will get there. I believe he will. But this is the season where he's kind of just in these dark, gritty moments in the season where you're playing every other day. It will be heavy. His legs will be feeling it a bit. He'll be getting booted every time he goes on the ball, you know. And this way down in 5 minutes that season where he said he needs to be a bit more mature on the ball, and everyone's going, "Oh, don't want him to be creative." No, this is what he means. This is in this part of the season, you can't be doing those flicks because they don't come off anymore. Your legs are a bit more tired. You've not got that energy. Be efficient, and he'll learn that. They both will. They're both young players, so I'm not worried. I just hope they turn up this game.
100%, you're right. And some would say that's him not being able to manage certain players and that, but the manager knows what he's doing, doesn't he? Like you're saying, and getting us through this period. And I don't know what. Go on, mate.
I was going to say, on Cree, when he came off, he wasn't disappointed he came off. He looked like he was disappointed in himself.
Yeah.
They know more than anyone that they have levels to their performance. And it's just about the people around them, the experienced players, the coaching staff, the coach, telling them it's fine. Yeah. Don't worry about it. You'll have another game. I know you like it. I know what you're feeling like. We've been there. Liam Cooper's been there. You know, Patrick Bamford's been there in this championship. It's tough. You need to tell them. Connor Roberts has done it. You know, Perot played here. Just getting around them and saying, it's all right. Be fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
100%. Right. Just looking as well, like at the schedule obviously after this, we've got a game on the Sunday against Millwall. Then we have the international break, and it's literally Friday and Easter Monday, obviously, within a couple of days, but everyone has that. And then there's only one more midweek fixture, and that's against Sunderland on the 9th of April. Then after that, it's every Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, so every week. And of course, they'll be subject to change and whatnot, but there's no more midweek fixtures after the 9th of April, which ain't too far away, really. But at that point, then anyway, you've only got like 4 games left, but that's the real running in it. I think Farker said, didn't he, I'll look at the table when we've got 6 games left. So after Easter, we've got a game Good Friday against Watford. Then we're at home to Hull on Easter Monday. Then we'll literally have 6 games left, and we can say, right, where are we going? Congratulations on his manager of the month as well, third time this season. So that's good.
Looked delighted, didn't he?
Yeah, same. Gruev missed out on the player of the month. I think was it Jackson? Was it at Ipswich? I think. I forget. Yeah, I think it was.
Hutchinson won it.
Hutchinson, sorry, yeah.
He's been unreal, by the way.
Yeah. I seen your guy missed a penalty the other day, didn't he? Ali Al Hamadi for Ipswich, and then fecking they went and scored anyway. I was fuming. What do you make to Ipswich, mate? Are they gonna?
Man.
The way I see it, though, they cannot. And if they do, fair enough. But they cannot keep conceding that many goals, and eventually they will come unstuck. Like for me, they can't. They remind me of like Newcastle under Kevin Keegan when it was like you score 3, we'll score 4. It genuinely looks like that with Ipswich. They concede so many goals, man.
They do, and you say they can't keep, but they are. And there's 9, 10 games left. They have been
mad.
Look, they're living in the moment right now, and they're loving it. Like some people talking about luck. Yeah, luck's huge in football. You can't do it about it. Whether they have 10 deflected goals, you know. Is this all you earn the luck? Let's be real. Teams have more luck in a season than others. But it don't matter. Who cares?
Yeah.
All the luck we had in certain, you could probably go through all the season, all the lucky moments we had. It's part of football. And look, they are in games. They go for it. You have to respect it. And they're a really good side, especially against teams that probably are not us or Leicester. You know, who have that real quality. They destroy them, and they deserve it. Genuinely unbelievable.
So here's a wild stat for you as well, right? Which has just been tweeted by Betfred, by the way. But most points won in the championship this year. Leeds 31. Next closest to us is Ipswich with 24. Then further down the pecking order, Norwich 21 and Coventry 20. So we have blitzed it this year. Blitzed it in 2024. So hopefully that continues. Obviously, there might be a bit of a selection headache for the manager because, obviously, of the quick turnaround. Did he rest great at the weekend, or is he saying Roberts is now the right back? Is Nonto now lost his place to James, etc.? Could Joseph start? So let's build our 11 for tonight, mate. Chat, you get involved as well. I will just share the screen. I'll put me and Lockie at the side. I've gone Meslier in goal. We know that he's nailed on. Look, Roberts wasn't amazing in the game against Chelsea, but in the league now, he's come on and made vital contributions, either assists and goals. Started midweek. He keeps his place for me, even if Archie doesn't go in midfield. I think he still keeps his place. What do you think, Lockie?
Ooh. See, yeah, if we're playing Roberts, I think we're moving Archie in midfield out. We're not dropping Archie, are we?
Well, what if Archie doesn't play in midfield? What if he keeps faith with Kamara and Gruyev? Then what happens at right back for you?
Nah, I think he plays Archie. If that's the midfield, I still think he sticks with Archie. I know Roberts has had that kind of. He's been really good, but he loves Archie Gray, doesn't he? I think he wants him on the pitch whenever he's fit.
Oh, see, I disagree, mate. I think we might see Gray, if he doesn't make the midfield, ride the bench.
Really? What's the chat saying?
I tell you what,
it's always hard these videos, isn't it?
Yeah, we're gonna
all good players.
We're gonna leave right back, and I'm gonna put a poll out.
That's a tough one,
and then we'll come back to it. Now, a lot of people, I think, might think he goes in midfield, but I'm not convinced. I think he might be a little bit worried away from home, and he'll want that steeliness and less creativity from Gruyev and Kamara as opposed to someone like Gray, who, great, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Right, let's move on to positions that are a little bit more favourable. I've put the poll in the chat, folks, so please do vote. Centre-backs remain unchanged, right? We've got Ampadu and Road on, yeah?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Strauss. He's recovering in it, which is brilliant for us, but not that yet. So no worries there.
No worries there. What about left back, mate? I was impressed with Byron, but a lot of people disagreed and said no, we need a left-footed left back. You know, what do you think happens at left back?
I think Junior comes in if he's fit.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah. Again, if we're going, in theory, if we're going with the Kamara, Gruev kind of midfield, I do think the expansiveness as Junior Firpo massively helps with them two, who are more defensive. I think the ball progression with Junior Firpo and he's more effective than Sam Byron.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Although obviously defensively, Sam Byron is solid.
Okay. Now, who's the one that drops out? If we go with Gray midfield, who's the one that drops out? Is it Kamara?
Because Kamara's not a 6.
Yeah, so you have Gruyev in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's harsh, isn't it? Because Kamara's this season has been brilliant. Kamara's a kind of player who never really stands out, but when you watch it back, his job is so effective.
Yeah,
he is so effective. He's the way in which he wins the ball high up. He's underrated. You know, when teams try to counter, he breaks it up so much, and on the ball, he's solid with it. It's just that I said this before in the season. It's literally a 2-3% drop can get you dropped. That's the level here. And if Kamara's last game, you know, he did have that. The last 2, maybe you could argue. So that's probably the thinking. I imagine.
Well, listen, I think we can write off the right back because Roberts has got 82% of the vote, mate. Right, so that's not going to change. So that what I am going to do, because I genuinely think, mate, that we still might see Kamara and Gruyev. Now, I think you were opting for Gray, were you?
I'm not sure.
I'm going to
put experience.
That's what my thing is. Away from home, I think he might go, do you know what? I want them to, because I'll get extra protection. I don't know.
Who they got in midfield, actually?
Will Volks, Barry Bannon.
It's experienced, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate. And then I don't know who the wingers are because Paveda's been playing on the right. But yeah, they've been playing with the back 5. So I think, Will Volks and Barry Bannon is very experienced in it, let's be honest. I'm going to put a poll out for the centre midfield. So I'll put Gray and Kamara.
I think if you were to selection headaches.
Yeah, 100%. If you were to put your money on one, who would it be? Because my money's going on Kamara. What about you? Kamara. I think Kamara.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we won't. We'll let the chat decide because I feel that it could be. I just think he'll go with tried and tested experience. That's what I think he's going to go with there, which would be harsh.
It'd be a nice surprise if Arch Gray was in midfield. Though,
100%. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, he was great against Chelsea. Let's be honest. So,
really good. Really good.
Kate, James keeps his place on the right over Nonto, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
James is vital in this running. I think
Yeah,
he's
he
been
is.
unbelievable this
100%.
season. Really impressed me.
I did my preview the other day and I found, let me just change that. It said that in the 12 games that Dan James has scored, he's gone on the wrong one. We've won every game.
Game everywhere.
So, yeah,
Right.
yeah. So he's been a real good luck charm for us in that respect as well.
He's
but he's
brilliant.
been phenomenal this season. What
He's
a
brilliant.
season he's had. Unreal.
Defensively as well, his work ethic is unbelievable. I really like Nonto. I think he played decent when he took his chance. But
Yeah, he did.
you
Yeah.
see James come on in these cameos, and
Mm.
he's been just as effective in 20 minutes.
100%. Which
He's really-
Nonto
yeah, he's
hasn't really
really
off
good
the
player.
bench, has he? He hasn't really
No.
done out off the bench. It's
No. And again,
it's always
that's
been from the
youth and
start.
experience
Yeah.
and learning how. It's just about being effective in the time you've got, really. And Dan James is, he's had a lot of this experience. He knows what to do in these games. Just Dan James.
100%. Do we think Nonto comes in for Somerville, or we just Rutter Somerville 100%?
That'd be a plot twist, wouldn't it? Rutter Somerville. If
Rutter
they're fit, which I'm
Somerville,
presuming they
definitely.
are.
Yeah, I think they are. Striker then, mate.
Question.
Let me find out who's winning the poll for midfield. So 78% of people have gone for Gray. So we'll pop Gray in there. I do think you're wrong, but I'll I'll put Archie in there for sure. We will put another poll out for this one. Because I think it's going to be interesting to see who people opt for. Who do you think Farker goes for? While I put this poll out.
I'm trying to figure Farker out. He's got these little surprises sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I've mentioned it before about experience. This is huge in this game. Get through this game, and you've got 8 days rest.
I do think Joseph will be key in the running. By the way,
huge.
I think he'll be so key in.
I said this before. I still think he's got a big moment. He'll win us a game this season,
off the bench or something like that. Yeah, 100%. I was really impressed with his goal, the second goal against Chelsea with the cross and the movement to get in between the centre backs. I thought, we could do with a bit of that. I think.
But you've got to go with back five as well. They play occupying the centre backs. I think you've got to go Patrick Bamford to start. And like I said, if the game is stretched in the situation where 100%. Daniel Farke thinks Joseph can come in and affect it, which he probably might be able to against his defenders, you bring him in and he does his job. But
see, as much as I love Joseph, and I just don't have enough confidence in him yet to go up against a back three away at Sheffield Wednesday. That's the big thing for me. I know people say, age is number, all that sort of stuff, but that Iorfa's a man mountain, they've got two centre-backs either side. It's like they might look at him and say, this lad's a boy, man, we'll just boy him off, you know what I mean? And I just think with Bamford, you can't do that. I think, this Patrick Bamford is so underappreciated by the fan base, I think. And listen, at the start of the season, I was saying, he's done, and then the Stoke one, I'm saying, no, he's done. But you can change your opinion, and we have seen a bit of a renaissance of him. And, I just think he's so underappreciated for what he does, mate,
Yeah, I've said this about Bamford. The issue is always that clinical goal-scoring edge. And in starts this season, I don't know the exact stats, but I believe he's got 6 and 9 stars or something like that.
Something like that, mate, yeah.
The numbers are there in the attacking sense. And I did a video the other week on his movement and how he's affecting the play and how he allows Georginio Rutter to thrive in a game. Really smart movement. Honestly, his movement's always been there for me. Yeah. People are telling me he can't move anymore, which I think I've personally seen no proof of that. But he looks better this season. And just on that, Joe, I think the thing is, I saw a comment. I agree. I think Mateo could do it against these. I think he could.
Yeah.
But it's whether Daniel Farke wants to kind of put him in that situation right now. Because when you play Mateo Joseph, you're going to have to play him for 70, 80 minutes until you make a sub. And that's a lot to ask for him right now, I think, in this situation. With Patrick Bamford, you know what he's going to do. At least he'll make them and he'll stretch them. He'll do that.
It's like giving them the rope-a-dope, rope-a-dope, like Muhammad Ali, let Bamford make them punch drunk, and then if you do need something, Mateo Joseph comes on 15, 20, 25 minutes, running the channels, causing all sorts of problems, so...
Because
go on, mate.
That's it. You start Mateo, for example, and say it wasn't working, he was getting bullied, he couldn't find any space, he wasn't getting any chances. then you've got to bring Bamford on with 20 minutes to go. That doesn't
Yeah,
affect it as much.
doesn't have the
other way
same
around.
impact, does it? No, it
No.
doesn't. No.
Start Bamford. You know what you're going to get, and then you can bring this surprise on. For
Yeah,
20,
exactly.
25 minutes.
I agree, mate. I think that's the way to go. A bit like a tag team. The Legion of Doom or something like that, and then on comes Matteo and gets a winner if we need it. Well, Bamford has won the poll, 69%.
Wow.
So 69% of people still think he goes with Pat up top, which I think's the smart move. So looking at it, then it is just the one change. Gray for no 2, isn't there? Left back Firpo comes in. And Gray comes in for Kamara. Although I do think I just don't see a world where he drops Kamara. I can't see it.
There's been many times this season where we've all thought he might drop Kamara because Kamara's had a one-off performance, and he never has. That's my thinking.
Yeah, I think we'd all be excited if Gray started, but yeah, that's the thing.
Like with all of this stuff, whoever it is, I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? If it's Gray midfield, if Joseph's up top, I'm going, okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm not Daniel Varker dealing with this.
No, exactly. But you said, it's a great problem to have.
Brilliant.
David says, hi guys, in my opinion, both options are perfectly viable, but I will say this, I believe Joseph is more clinical. Now, you could say that's not proven and that's fair, but I have more faith in Joseph. No, exactly, David, because anyone that's... See, the thing is, for me, what frustrates me is when I see people make blanket statements. He's better at doing this, he's better at doing that. And I go, I know you haven't watched him in the under-21s. Like, some may have, but there's some that haven't. So I don't think you can make blanket statements that some people tend to do. Just my opinion. So but, like you say, you're not doing it based on anything. You just believe that fact, and that's fine. But, time will tell.
There's no kind of negative to this for me. People don't like Bamford because he missed a few chances. I'm over that now. That's whatever. That's them. That's on them. But there's no... Why has it got to be... He has to start. He has to do 100%. He doesn't have to 100% start.
No, exactly.
He could start, and that'd be brilliant. And if he doesn't, fine.
Yeah. No, exactly, mate. You bang on the money. Let's finish up then, mate, with some... Before we get score predictions, what needs to go well in order for Leeds to get 3 points?
Front four, mate. I think they're the best in the league when they're on it. They need to be, not 100%, but I think we've had about 40, 50% recently. If they can be at 60, 70, and they clinical again, take that first chance, please. Or take the first goal. We go ahead, I'm convinced we win the game. If we don't, that'll be tough. And this is where you need experience, and that's where you need players like Bamford on the pitch. But then that front four, that midfield control, the back line always do their job for me, so I'm not worried about them. It's that front four that got to turn up for us, I think.
100%. I think in that Huddersfield game, I got a bit of stick after the game from my man Paco Max saying, Joe said we were scintillating today, but there was some certain movements in that first half against Huddersfield where we did look really good. And we did play some great stuff.
There was one with Kamara, Firpo, Somerville.
100%, man. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And even the chance before where the one within 3 minutes. So, look, we can start fast. We can carve teams open. I think we've scored the most goals in the first 15 minutes, almost double what anyone else has next to us in second. So, if we can score in the first half, I do think we'll win the game, especially early on. But something tells me we're going to get another draw, mate. And I did predict 1-1, and I can't shake that feeling. So, it will be disappointing, especially if... Look, if we lose, it's going to ruin my weekend. I'll be raging, right? Because then you're panicking watching the other teams. If we win, amazing. Pressure off. Let them see what they can do. A point, not great, but it's not a loss. But, yeah, I can't see past a draw, mate. So I'm going to need you to bring the positivity, if you've got any, that is. How do you see the game unfolding?
So when you said lose there, I just imagined that for 10 seconds and I jumped on depressed.
Yeah.
So that ain't happening because I ain't dealing with that. Not after the Huddersfield game, which is a horrible week. We're going to win this one. I give them respect. They're doing really well. They might stay up because they're looking good.
Yeah.
But we're not looking great, but we're good, aren't we? We've not lost this year.
Still the best team in the league this year, mate, aren't we?
We win this. I think I score prediction. I have no idea. I'll just randomly do these 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
2-0. I'll
And
take
James
that.
on the score sheet.
Take that, yeah. Every day of the week and every month on Sunday, 100% I would take a 2-0 win. You can watch it, obviously, on the Just Joe Football Show. I will be live from 7 o'clock. The game is tonight, of course. There will be an instant post-match reaction at 10 p.m. as well. So make sure you join us for that. Lockie, anything on your channel? I know you said you released a video. Do you want to tell the people?
I did a video yesterday. It's just a 15-minute video about Matteo and Bamford, that whole situation. I had it on my mind. I wanted to chat about it. It's basically what I said at the start of this, but extended. So if you guys want to watch that, appreciate it. There will be a video tomorrow morning from this video. Probably maybe a tactical breakdown during the week, depending on how the game goes.
Now that you've got some time, mate, the content is ramping up a bit.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. Good man. Good man. Listen, folks, make sure you go on over and subscribe to Lockie Leeds. It is in the title. All you need to do is just click it and it'll take you straight to that channel and you'll just hit subscribe. Make sure you join me from 7 o'clock tonight as well, because it's going to be quite interesting to see how that lineup looks. I'm genuinely excited. Yeah. Will it be Joseph? Will it be Gray? Will it be Roberts?
It'll be the usual, won't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think so. It'll be unchanged.
Yeah.
No. Listen, hopefully we win, but I can't see past the draw. But yeah, it'll be. Listen, I'd love nothing more than a Bamford hat trick, because if Bamford scores tonight and plays well, I'm coming for all you motherfuckers. I'm coming for you all. Now, listen, thanks for supporting the channel as always. Make sure you check out Lockie, and I'll see you tonight from 7 peeps. Bye bye now.
Everyone.